Hello everyone! I'm glad to see you on the channel. Today we're making a popular Italian lemon cake filled with silky lemon pastry cream. First, zest 1 large lemon, making sure to remove only the yellow outer layer. The white pith underneath is bitter and can spoil the delicate flavor of the cream. Once zested, the lemon softens and releases its juice more easily. Cut it in half and squeeze out all the juice, twisting as you press to extract every drop. Strain the juice so no pulp or seeds get into our cream. We want only pure, clear lemon juice. Take a bowl, crack 1 large egg into it, add sugar. It helps the egg turn into a homogeneous emulsion. Add cornstarch and a pinch of salt. This is the main flavor enhancer. Now take a whisk. Our goal is to turn the separate ingredients into a single whole. Begin to whisk the egg with the sugar and cornstarch using circular motions. Add some freshly squeezed juice. This is a super important step. Right now, our base is turning into that lemon cream that'll be the heart of our Italian cake. Okay, let's move on to the next stage. Now take the milk and pour it into a saucepan. I add a teaspoon of sugar to the bottom of the saucepan to prevent the milk from burning. Place the milk over medium heat and heat it up. Do not bring the milk to a rolling boil. As soon as you see the first steam and small bubbles around the edges of the saucepan, it's time to remove it from the heat. Gradually pour it into the egg mixture, stirring constantly with a whisk to prevent the eggs from curdling. Combine the hot milk and lemon egg mixture to achieve the perfect texture without lumps. Stir until the sugar is completely dissolved and the mixture is smooth. Return the mixture to the saucepan and place it back on the stove. Now, the magic of thickening will begin. Start boiling the lemon pastry cream over medium heat. At first, the cream will be quite runny, and that's normal. After a while, the starch will start to work and the mixture will gradually thicken. At this point, it is especially important to stir the cream even more vigorously so that it does not burn. After thickening and boiling, cook the cream for another minute or two so that the starch stabilizes completely. Remove the saucepan from the heat. I recommend straining the cream through a sieve to get rid of any lumps. Transfer the cream from the saucepan to the sieve. Using a silicone spatula, gently rub it in circular motions. Any micro lumps of starch will remain in the sieve, and the purest, shiny lemon cream will drain into the bowl. Add the zest to the finished hot cream and gently mix it in. This is the best way to preserve the lemon's essential oils. The heat of the cream will release them, but they won't evaporate as they would during prolonged cooking. Now, take some cling film and cover the finished cream with it so that it fits snugly against the surface. There should be no air between the cream and the film. Place the cream in the refrigerator to cool. Now let's start preparing the cake batter. Break 3 eggs into a clean bowl. For best results, the eggs should be at room temperature. This will allow the egg whites to whip into a firm, stable foam more quickly, and the sugar to dissolve completely. Now let's add a pinch of salt. We'll also need 100 grams of sugar. Mix everything thoroughly with a whisk. Our task is not just to combine the ingredients, but to saturate the mixture with as many air bubbles as possible. Mix until the sugar granules stop crunching against the bottom of the bowl. Melt the butter and leave it to cool slightly. Add yogurt to the egg mixture. If desired, it can be replaced with low-fat sour cream. Add 45 milliliters of lemon juice, which we set aside earlier. Mix well so that the yogurt or sour cream dissolves completely. Now we give our dough that very Italian texture. Pour in the cooled melted butter. Melted butter is the key to making the cake moist and fluffy. Pick up the whisk again. Work with confident circular movements. You will notice how the dough instantly becomes glossier, more elastic, and takes on a deep, creamy hue. Now, take a fine sieve and pour the flour and baking powder into it. It is important to mix the baking powder with the flour in the sieve so that it is evenly distributed throughout the dough. Then our cake will rise evenly without any skewing. Using light movements, sift them directly into the bowl with the liquid base. Gently but thoroughly mix the dough. We need to combine the airy base with the flour so that there are no lumps left. The dough should be thick, glossy, and flow off the whisk in a heavy ribbon. Prepare the baking pan. Take a piece of soft butter and carefully grease the sides of the pan. Place parchment paper cut to the diameter of the pan on the bottom. Slowly pour the batter into the center of the prepared pan. It should spread gently across the bottom, filling the space, and then level the surface with a spatula. Take the cooled lemon cream out of the refrigerator and remove the plastic wrap. Transfer the cream to a piping bag. For convenience, insert an empty piping bag into a glass. Make a cuff over the edges of the glass. Fill the bag no more than 2/3 full. If there is too much cream, it is difficult to control and may start to spill out from the top. Now cut off the tip. Do not cut too close to the edge. Pipe the cream in a spiral pattern, starting from the center of the cupcake, gently squeezing the cream as you move in a circle toward the edges. Try to maintain even pressure so that the line is smooth and voluminous. Place the cake in a preheated oven. I'm using a 20-centimeter pan, so my cake baked for 45 minutes at 175 degrees Celsius. The finished cake is golden brown, beautiful, and smells incredibly delicious. Take it out of the oven and let it cool completely. Carefully go around the sides of the pan with a knife to release the cake. Cover the pan with a plate and flip the cake over. Do it like me, one quick motion. Remove the parchment paper from the bottom. Cover with a serving plate and flip the cake back upside down. We're almost done, just one last thing left. Take a fine sieve, pour powdered sugar into it, and lightly tap it over the entire surface of the cake. The cake is completely ready to serve. It turns out incredibly moist, aromatic, and rich. Look at the slice. Inside the airy golden dough, you can see those very creamy islands that we created in a spiral. They remained moist, thick, and incredibly lemony. Be sure to try it. Enjoy your meal! Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.